Let's take a look on social identity theory, SIT. You can see the whole theory in this mind map. I divided theory to four main categories: basics, psychological principles, evaluation, and studies. In this video, I mainly concentrate on basics and psychological principles. So, to the basics. Social identity theory was developed by Henry Teichfel and John Turner in 1970s and 1980s. The theory is based on the hypothesis that individuals seek a positively valued distinctiveness for their own groups compared to the other groups to achieve a positive social identity. Social identity means individual's knowledge that he or she belongs to certain social groups and groups have emotional value to the individual. Or same in the other words. Social identity means that portion of an individual's self-concept that is derived from perceived membership in a social group. The minimal group paradigm is a technique used in SIT experiments. The minimal group paradigm is a technique used to define the in-groups and the out-groups between two or more groups. The traditional minimal group study consists of two phases. In the first phase, participants are randomly and anonymously divided into two groups, and in the second phase, participants take part in a seemingly unrelated resource distribution task. During the distribution task, participants show in-group favoritism. Let's move on to the psychological mechanisms. There are three psychological mechanisms underlying SIT. Mechanisms are social categorization, social comparison, and group membership as a source of positive self-esteem. Social categorization means an individual's process of dividing people in categories. The differentiation between in-groups and out-groups is based on social categorization. Social comparison refers to intergroup comparison. Members of group compare their group to the other groups. People strive to enhance their self-esteem. Self-esteem has two components, a personal identity and various social identities. Group membership as a source of positive self-esteem means that people may boost their self-esteem by viewing their in-groups more favorably than out-groups. For third, let's consider the strengths and limitations of SIT. Strengths are that SIT adds everyday understanding of human behavior and it has a lot of empirical support. However, SIT can only be used to describing, not predicting behavior. Using theory in isolation is reductionism. Reductionism means that a complex system is nothing but the sum of its parts. In this case, it means that one does not take account for the environmental factors that affect on behavior. SIT also has limited analysis of situational and cognitive aspects. Well-known studies on SIT are Reicher's and Haslam's study on social identifications in a prison-like environment. Serifs and his companions Therapeutic experiment, and Teichfel and his companions study on Bristol schoolboys. That was the theory part of this video. Social groups affect our concept of ourselves and our self-esteem. The most affecting group experience I had was my year in Finnish Defence Forces. A big part of my social identity is constructed on those experiences. For the end of my video, I would want you to consider following questions. which social groups do you belong to, and how those groups shape your identity.